They kind of have a cult going on. They make fun of it and downplay it by saying it's not a cult, but they kind of... Which Destiny says, you're a degenerate loser who shouldn't have a voice online. I don't want your sympathy or your pity, just for losers like you to off with your advice on the internet.
Vaush was standing over there in the corner, and I felt bad for him. And I was like, well, I don't want to like have all of us go out, and Vaush doesn't come with us, because that seems like a shitty thing to do.
Dono thing is more of you being his lolcow than him being mad at you, but you're a bit too autistic to get it. Except he obsesses over it.
Vaush memes, lamented.
DGG called you out for malding for going over Destiny's takes point by point calmly. They need to unplug from the internet for a while. They kind of have a cult going on. They make fun of it and downplay it by saying it's not a cult, but they kind of do. I've said this before about like the new skeptic community, but right now Destiny is his community intellectually are on par with Thunderfoot circa like 2015 or 16, I'd say. It feels like they're in about the same ballpark, where there's like a pretense of political affect, but in reality, it's just being used as a
pretense of political affect,
delusional, seething hatred of people that you dislike. And it's analogous because Destiny and Thunderfoot are both smart guys. Thunderfoot does really good science content. I think he moved away from the politics stuff for the most part. And Destiny, hypothetically, is capable of good takes. Anyone else feel like Vaush is super intentionally nonchalant when talking about Destiny? Maybe I'm overanalyzing this or being an armchair psychologist.
He's actually going through posts on my subreddit after avoids talking to me, says he won't talk about me, but is literally going through posts on my subreddit on a stream. Interesting.
Anytime Vaush talks about Destiny, he's intentionally trying to appear very calm and dismissive. My debate tactic right there. I think the main idea Vaush tries to bring across when he talks about Destiny is that Destiny is unhinged and spite-filled, and so to get this idea across, he presents himself as nonchalant and generally disconnected. In other words, Vaush wants to look like he's not mad and he doesn't care. My sneaky tactics, you know. Every time I see one of those Vaush clips nowadays, I just think of that scene from American Beauty where the wife is listening to some self-help tape that's like, in order to be successful, one must project an image of success at all times. And then she keeps repeating it before she breaks down crying and buys a gun. Very well-adjusted perspectives in that community. So they're like, just they see me being calm and they're like...
That is so true!
This reminds me of that time a person killed themselves. I don't think I've ever seen American Beauty, so I don't know. Did she kill herself? I assume, contextually, that's what happened. It really is indistinguishable from...
Oh, you know what? Let's look up the Kevin Spacey allegations. What happened?
A conservative community now. Wait, they do it unironically. The fake calm voice leaks condescension. That's true. More than usual, that is. It's very cringe once you notice all his little tactics, debate tactics memes, these little we've noticed all these sneaky maneuvers that Vaush engages in, like being calm and making people he talks to look bad by pointing out their face. Have you noticed how effortlessly Vaush alternates between inhaling and exhaling? It seems like a sneaky tactic to maximize the oxygen that goes to his brain, which he thinks would give him like an advantage in debate. Pretty cringe once you realize. It's you know, obviously the community didn't used to be this bad. I've said this before, I'll say this again. This is to anyone or whatever.
Wait!
Moot! I'm in!
No!
Okay, well, I'm
Whoa, wait!
Sorry, okay.
Whatever, okay. The only thing that distinguishes Destiny's community's perception of myself and Destiny's community perception of other people is who Destiny dislikes. That's really the only thing. If Destiny dislikes you, there's not really a circumstance in which you can have good arguments against him and Destiny's dislike is separated from the perspective of his community. You know, eventually it always falls in line. And the consequence of that is that, yeah, the enthrallment continues. Would DGG today get along with 2012 to 2017 era DGG? Better than 2019 era DGG would get along with either group. I'm sorry for that part. As a survivor of domestic violence and having my ex literally try to kill me, sorry you experienced domestic violence and wish it upon no one. Hope you take time to understand the fear of violence during a sexual assault. Which Destiny says, you're a degenerate loser who shouldn't have a voice online. I don't want your sympathy or your pity just for losers like you to off with your advice on the internet. You're actively harmful to any movement or any cause you attempt to contribute to. Grow up and eat grass. And I think this was a wonderful tweet because every part of it is projection.
It's projection.
In terms of harming any movement or cause you contribute to, I think that's spectacular. Destiny is the least grass-touching individual on Earth. I feel like his modus operandi is saying some incredibly online shit, and then when people disagree, he tells them to touch grass. You know what I mean? Like basically, somebody could say, "Hey, Destiny, don't you know that like confronting a sexual like an abuser can be like violent for women?" And he would be like, "What are you talking about? Nobody in real life thinks this way. Go touch grass."
Most people in real life don't think that telling somebody to put the condom back on means they're gonna get fucking killed. That's some online shit, my dude. I don't know what to tell you. Go talk to some girls that are outside of fucking Twitter and find out how real people are. There's like, the thing is, at that point, there's no argument left to be said other than go eat grass. Like, I can't say anything past that point. If you think that like the average woman in real life is like, oh fuck, if I say anything to this guy, he's gonna fucking kill me, because that's how every female-male interaction goes. Like, I don't know what to say to you.
The funniest thing, though, is how obviously mad he gets when people, like, take sympathy for his negative experiences, because it's very clear he only brings up his negative experiences to get dunks on other people and not because he actually wants to share in any empathy of the situation. Like how he brought up Reckful's suicide, a suicide of a close friend of his, to me, as part of an argument that social workers are scarier than police officers when doing mental health checks. That's a real thing that happened, by the way. It's
He's so
unironically
bad at framing my
sociopathic
arguments.
behavior, which to
Or
his
good, I
credit,
guess,
he's been
depending on
calling
you.
himself a sociopath for a long time, so he's not being dishonest with that one. I feel like Destiny purposefully makes himself angry for no reason. Destiny made my voice, in which I insulted him, one of his dono sounds. Yes, I do think he enjoys being angry a little bit. That's
I get so
self-harm.
mad every
I
time I
really
hear
do
it.
think it is, you know? I don't know if he pretends at this because I don't, like, watch him. I don't know if he pretends to not be bothered or whatever, but he gets really mad about me. Like, really, really quite mad. Even in person, the first thing he said, I think, was something like, well, I hate you,
I
buddy,
hate you.
but something. And it was something else.
Oh, I felt bad because I'm a social person, okay? I'm a social butterfly. I got all sorts of people talking to me, wanting to go out drinking and stuff. Vaush was standing over there in the corner, and I felt bad for him. And I was like, well, I don't want to like have all of us go out, and Vaush doesn't come with us, because that seems like a shitty thing to do. So if he wanted to come with, that was fine. But I don't want him to think I don't hate his guts, okay? So I think I said something like, hey, like, I absolutely hate you, but if you want to come drinking with us, that's chill or whatever. Because, you know, I'm not a petty person like that. But I don't, this might be my autism speaking, but I'll never do this shit where people are like really mean to each other online, and then in real life they're like, oh, haha, we're just chill, blah, 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 blah. That shit triggers the ever-living fuck out of me. I hate that shit. What did he say? I think he just kind of awkwardly laughed and then ended up tagging along. I hate people that do that shit. Why is that part necessary? Because I don't want to think I'm his fucking friend just because I feel bad for him and I want to be able to come out drinking with us. That feels weird, okay? I don't do that shit, okay? If I don't like you, I don't like you, all right? That doesn't change just because I see you in real life.
No, that would have been later in the night. I don't know, he just thinks about me a lot.
Every waking moment, actually.
The voice clip dono thing is more of you being his lolcow than him being mad at you, but you're a bit too autistic to get it. Except he obsesses over it. Why else?
Oh,
Vaush!
Vaush,
people love to
he
say
read
that somebody's a lolcow when in reality they just get under their skin. Remember how many people said Anita Sarkeesian was a lolcow, but like in reality they were just making 80 videos a day mauling at her? A lolcow is somebody who like repeatedly embarrasses themselves. But I'm a proud agent of the CIA, and Destiny is currently laughing at the audacity of women, like, choosing to be raped. So, in terms of people who make themselves open targets for criticism, like, he can't hide the fact that he gets mad. Like when he talked about how I'm faking being pansexual because I haven't had sex with any men, even though I've had sex with men. I mean, like, some of the statements that he's made about me indicate it's not just sort of a banal dislike. Listen, I occupy a lot of space in his brain, but unfortunately, my omnipresent occupation of his thoughts does not seem to have made him any better at thinking. So is Destiny basically a reactionary at this point? Is
yes.
he even really
He's been a reactionary
anymore?
for years.
I would say that what a person believes is less relevant than what a person does, and I think that his emotions tend to skew him towards reactionary behavior. but I don't think that's because of things he believes. I just think I think the only reactionary tendency that Destiny has that's motivated by actual ideological bias is that he's classist. He thinks less of the poor. Outside of that, I feel like his behavior is motivated purely by spite. So it's essentially like a lot of Destiny's shitty behavior is just like an idiot with a bulldozer that has everything on full throttle charging through a city. And he just happens to hit like the gay bar, the orphanage, and like the gender reassignment, like, gender clinic right next to each other. But like, he's got his blinders on, man. You know, he just wanted to drive the goddamn bulldozer. You know, you can talk about the irresponsibility of aiming it in that direction, but I think the bulldozer or the spite is really the driving motivation there. The same cycle that always happens when Destiny has a really bad take, which is he will hyperbolize his position,
Bring
make
somebody on to debate it.
and not optically, rhetorically well-delivered arguments against the people who take issue with what he's said. He'll ban a great many people who criticize him from his community, and the people who weren't loud enough with their criticisms will be quiet, they'll stick around, and in a month it'll just be some other thing. So I don't imagine that much is going to change in that avenue.
Imagine if Vaush could be the hero, the Dark Knight, and step up and shut down the horrible Destiny arguments. Imagine. Do you think he's avoiding appealing his ban on Twitch because it gives him a good excuse to avoid any like panel or interaction that I could be on? Holy shit.